lacked any power whatsoever, easily held by Courtois.
And it was the shot of a player that's just lacking in match fitness and sharpness at the moment. Just lacked a little bit of strength there, Icardi, to just lean into his player and say, get off, and I'm going to ping this in the corner. The contact knocked him, and because it knocked him, that took the power away from the shot. But Icardi is probably going to get more chances in this game. What will that decision, I wonder now, do to the set of Real Madrid? Will it make them even more
The second, a stunner from 20-25 yards. Gareth Bale has gone closest for Real Madrid. 3 occasions. First a free kick over the bar, then a goal, a stunning goal. What a goal it would have been, disallowed for handball after a VAR check, rightly disallowed, and then drilling the ball just right from the edge of the area moments before the break. You get the sense Real Madrid not definitively out of the match just yet, but PSG in control at the break on TalkSport 2. PSG 2, Real Madrid 0.
And commentary on the second half on the way. Manchester City 2 up in Ukraine, leading Shakhtar Donetsk. Mahrez and Gundogan. Coman for Bayern Munich, who lead Red Star Belgrade by 1-0. 2 great goals from Angel Di Maria. Angel delight for PSG tonight, Adrian Clark.
He did there. He's been superb, but so has everybody in a white shirt of PSG. Very, very cohesive first half performance. Really confident display as well, because we're up against world-class players, but they back themselves tonight, and so far so good. But the quality of the 2 goals was outstanding.
Gareth Bale, does Zinedine Zidane need to have a little bit of a rethink about one of his squad players that he doesn't seem to fancy that much?
Well, I never got it in the first place. He absolutely needs Gareth Bale, in my opinion. He's been their most dangerous forward. Eden Hazard barely touched the ball in the first half. He had 1 shot, which was a good shot, whistled past the post. Apart from that, he's not looked keen to drift inside and look for the ball and get involved. He's taken a back seat, but Gareth Bale wants to get involved, and Real Madrid are eager to get him on the ball at every opportunity. So of that glittering front 3 of Real Madrid, it's definitely Bale that deserves the pat on the back. The others, maybe less so.
Adrian, who or what else caught your eye from PSG in that first 45?
So much caught the eye, really. I mean, I was impressed with both of the fullbacks. Bernat and Mounier got forward brilliantly. Idrissa Gueye, terrific in the heart of that midfield. It's his Champions League debut. It's a big step up, isn't it, from Everton? But he's looked at home alongside Verratti in there. Look, every single PSG player, 8 out of 10 or more from that first half. It's one of those nights at the moment that they'll look back on really, really fondly. But they're playing Real Madrid. The job isn't done yet. 45 minutes. If they switch off and lower their level in the next 45, they might not win this game. So it's work to be done still.
I'm not saying it's fair. When does fair ever come into play in football? But given the way the world works in regard to Real Madrid coaches, when might the wind of change blow in the direction of Zinedine Zidane?
It's hard to predict, isn't it? Such a volatile football club. I think he's earned the right to at least see this season out. Let's see how he goes. It's not been great. They've been conceding goals. The dressing room doesn't seem that happy, but he's a Champions League specialist, even though at the moment they're not in great shape. Who would say that he can't turn things around by next May? He's certainly got players with enough ability. He's got the tactical nous. I'd stick with him, but Real Madrid like to pull the trigger, don't they?
Let's see what happens in the second half. 2 great goals from Angel Di Maria, and Paris Saint-Germain lead Real Madrid by 2-0. Final score: Bruges 0, Galatasaray 0. That was an early kick-off. Same situation, early kick-off for Tottenham away in Greece against Olympiacos. 2-2. Far from convincing Tottenham tonight, by the way. Atletico Madrid 0, Juventus 0 half-time. Lokomotiv Moscow 2-1 up away at Bayer Leverkusen. Dinamo Zagreb 3-0 up at half-time at home to Atalanta. Bayern 1-0 up at home to Red Star Belgrade. And Paris Saint-Germain 2-0 up at home to Real Madrid. Manchester City 2 up away at Shakhtar Donetsk. Gundogan and Mahrez the goal scorers. More on tonight's Champions League games on the way. Second half commentary on the PSG Real Madrid and reaction to Tottenham's game next.
You're listening to TalkSport 2 Live.
UEFA Champions League live on TalkSport 2 with Arnold Clark. With over 45,000 Trustpilot reviews, you can expect a 5-star experience when buying your next car.
Did you know that winning postcodes are announced every single day with People's Postcode Lottery? Only playing postcodes are entered, so the prizes are always won. It costs just £10 a month to play in all draws. Join in with your postcode to play at postcodelottery.co.uk. PPL manage lotteries on behalf of good causes. 16 plus. Conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell.
At Experian.co.uk, we know being single's no fun. That's why we do everything we can to help you meet your ideal match, your data self.
Until I met my data self, I had no idea which credit card was right for me. He was able to show me the ones I was eligible for before I even applied. It really has changed my life.
Find out how your data self could help you make better financial decisions at Experian.co.uk. Experian Limited is a credit broker, not a lender, working with selected lenders.
A nice weekend, a nice walk, a nice relax on the sofa. Is nice what you really want, or is nice not satisfying you? You're always thinking, can I do more? Life as an RAF reserve could satisfy that urge with life-saving mountain climbing, truck driving, helicopter flying weekends. So when Monday comes and Jackie asks what you've got up to, you can say you've had more than just a nice weekend. There's a role waiting for you right now. Search RAF Reserves. Find your force.
Summer wardrobe weather struggles? Introducing convertible wellies. 1 minute they're Wellington boots, the next flip-flops.
Convertible wellies, never going to happen, is it? But with the new BP Me Rewards card, getting more of the summer essentials you love more often will. Search BP Me Rewards to find out more.
This week at Lidl, we're big on doing it yourself. Get a compressor for $79.99, an air stapler or nailer only $19.99, or an air nibbler just $14.99 from Sunday the 15th of September. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, excludes NI.
At DFS, Autumn-Winter Collection sofas are up to half price. And until Monday, you can get early bird extra savings on selected sofas. DFS.
TalkSport 2 brings you more live sport, more incisive pundit comment, and more in-depth analysis from across the sporting planet.
Oh, it's absolutely magnificent!
Plus, you can get all the latest form and odds on all the big events every morning on Sports Day with TalkSport 2's official betting partner, Sky Bet, whose free bets now come without an expiry date. Like Fergie time, they go on and on and on. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Free bet does not expire. Free bet stakes not returned as winners. Free bets non-withdrawable. Eligibility restrictions. Terms and conditions apply.
TalkSport 2 Sports Update with official betting partner Sky Bet, Britain's most popular online bookmaker. Making betting better. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
TalkSport 2 Live.
Cracking evening. Race Dubs on duty for tonight's TalkSport 2 Live. We had commentary on Tottenham's game in Greece against Olympiacos, 2-2 the final score. Champions League is centre stage. Commentary underway on PSG versus Real Madrid. That's the prime focus right now. PSG 2 up at half-time. Over on TalkSport, it's commentary on Manchester City's Champions League game with Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine. And here's the story so far.
Jesus setting up Gundogan, he's hit the post and he's put in on the follow-up by Mahrez. Manchester City strike first. Their Champions League campaign is off and running. Ball back off the woodwork. Mahrez fired it in. Telltale glance at the assistant referee to see if he was onside. And the VAR will look at it. But the goal at the moment has been given. Rodri steps away from one challenge, then flicks it down towards the right-hand side. Mahrez able to come in off the flank towards the edge of the penalty area. What a chance, what a goal! Absolutely brilliant from İlkay Gundogan and Manchester City. They have walked the ball forward and then they've gone up through the gears so quickly. First gear to fifth gear in the blink of an eye. Little 1-2 and İlkay Gundogan with a brisk toe poke finish into the top right-hand corner. Shakhtar 0, Manchester City 2.
And that's the half-time score. Liverpool and Chelsea lost last night. Spurs drew tonight. Manchester City could be the only English winners in the opening group games of the Champions League. Second half still to come. Commentary over on TalkSport. Europa League commentary tomorrow night here on TalkSport 2. Arsenal's game in Frankfurt, and Gunners coach Unai Emery says the Europa League isn't any form of distraction in regard to what he wants to achieve in the Premier League.
We are very excited for that competition. We are going to start tomorrow. We are going to start with Eintracht Frankfurt. Last year they played the same final against Chelsea, and they lost in the penalty moment against them. And really to start tomorrow with them is for us a tough match, but also we are looking forward to start that competition. We have good feels for that competition in this season. We played last year the final. We lost, but for us also is a new challenge that year.
Arsenal coach Unai Emery, early kick-off for Arsenal away at Eintracht Frankfurt tomorrow night. Pre-match build-up from 5, kick-off at 5 to 6. In the Champions League tonight, just to confirm, final score Bruges 0, Galatasaray 0. Final score Olympiacos 2, Tottenham 0. Half-time scores Atletico Madrid 0, Juventus 0. Lokomotiv Moscow 2-1 up away at Bayer Leverkusen. Dinamo Zagreb cruising, it would appear, 3-0 up at half-time to Atalanta of Italy. Bayern Munich 1, Red Star Belgrade 0. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Real Madrid 0. Second half commentary on the way. Manchester City 2-0 up away at Shakhtar Donetsk. Second half of the PSG Real Madrid game fast.
Former club into Di Maria, left foot shot. What a goal from Di Maria! Can you believe this? 2 for Angel Di Maria. Here come Real Madrid though on the counter with Gareth Bale. A looping effort. It's absolutely sensational. Gareth Bale with a wonderful goal, along with his right foot over the goalkeeper. They are doing a goal check here, and the referee here has decided to rule the goal out. You get the sense Real Madrid not definitively out of the match just yet, but PSG in control at the break on TalkSport 2. PSG 2, Real Madrid 0.
And no argument the goal should have been disallowed. Second half of the Paris Saint-Germain Real Madrid game is fast approaching. Back to Adrian Clark and Joe Shannon. Adrian, what do Madrid need to change? What should be the message that Zinedine Zidane is giving to his players?
They need to be more assertive. They need to get hold of the ball and pin PSG back, because if they do, then it will get the likes of Eden Hazard and Gareth Bale and Karim Benzema and James Rodriguez, who's had a couple of good moments. It'll get them onto the ball in advanced areas far more often. What's happened is they've been a little bit passive, haven't won enough duels, they've sat back and allowed PSG to gain territory, and because of that they've been able to manufacture more chances than Real Madrid. So I think it's all about being aggressive in their attitudes and taking the fight to PSG, to basically copying what PSG did to them in the first half. They need to do that in the second, Real Madrid.
Adrian, I agreed with what you said before on the half-time whistle. I did wonder if Eden Hazard was playing for some stages of the game. You just didn't hear his name much.
No, it's been a really slow start, hasn't it, to life in Real Madrid. I know he picked up an injury which has sort of curtailed his progress, but you expect more. The Eden Hazard at Chelsea almost always dominated games. He was the talisman, always looking to get on the ball. Maybe Real Madrid haven't quite got used to him yet, and he hasn't got used to his teammates. It's a bedding in process, I guess, but yeah, not the lightning fast start that he or Zidane were hoping for, that's for sure.
At the highest level, you need something different, and Angel Di Maria came up with something very, very different there.
Well, 2 very different goals as well, weren't they? The first one was a great team move, but it was his speed across the turf and instinctive brilliance that to toe poke it past the keeper. Not every player can do that. That was special. And then the second goal was all about his left foot. It's a gilded left foot. He's got a lovely technique. We know that. We've seen it down the years. And he just stroked the ball home. 22 yards out. Didn't put any effort into it seemingly, but it whistled past the keeper. Yeah, he's a class act. Such a shame it didn't work out for him in the Premier League.
Commentary on Manchester City's Champions League game against Shakhtar Donetsk over on TalkSport. City 2 up. Tomorrow night, Arsenal away at Frankfurt in the Europa League here on TalkSport 2. 4 games on the TalkSport network from the English leagues on Saturday. the Premier League game between Leicester and Tottenham on Talk Sport, the Championship match between Leeds and Derby on Talk Sport 2. Both those games kick off at 12:30. The Premier League match between Everton and Sheffield United kicks off at 3 with commentary here on Talk Sport 2. 5:30, the Premier League match between Newcastle and Brighton over on Talk Sport. If this stays 2-0, there'll be a row for Real Madrid. If it goes 3 or 4-0, wow, there'll be a row. Back to Joe Shen and Adrian Clark.
Ray, thank you very much indeed. There are vast swathes of empty seats at the Parc des Princes for the moment. Lots of people still trudging down the steps from the concourse areas. Blue and red empty seats everywhere. A nice mosaic on the far side in PSG colours as Real Madrid kick off the second half. All in dark blue, playing from right to left. PSG in white, playing from left to right. The home side lead by 2-0, and here they come straight away with Idrissa Gueye out to the left-hand side, and Verratti in support down that far side of the field is Di Maria, who's already got 2 goals tonight. He tries a cross and it deflects off the back of Carvajal and away from danger. I'll confirm the two sides for you in just a moment. No changes, it looks like, at the break for either team, as Marquinhos, barrel-chested and broad-shouldered, sends the ball out to the right-hand side, and Meunier, who then pops it back to the halfway line. So PSG with Navas in goal, Meunier, Thiago Silva, Kimpembe and Bernat, Marquinhos, Gueye and Verratti, Pablo Sarabia and Di Maria in support of Icardi. For Real Madrid, Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Eder Militao, Varane and Mendy. A break off here as PSG come forward. Pablo Sarabia, right-hand edge of the area, tries to thread the ball into the penalty area. Kroos is back for Real Madrid, and Kroos, with the help of Eder Militao, will get it clear. Kroos part of a 3-man Real Madrid midfield made up of Casemiro and James Rodriguez alongside the German. Hazard on his full debut for Real alongside Gareth Bale, who had a wonderful goal rightly disallowed in the first half for handball after a VAR check, alongside Karim Benzema up front. Legions of riches on the bench for both sides, and here comes Hazard into the feet of Mendy for Real Madrid. 2-0 they trail, 1 minute and 40 seconds into the second period, as Rodriguez knocks it square to Casemiro, long sleeve dark shirt, onto Carvajal. Bale with his hair tied back down the far side, playing on the right, tries to cut onto his favoured left foot. Di Maria with a neat little turn, pirouetting over the ball, and finds one Bernat in the left back position. Bernat there struggling to clear. Bale gets a foot in, and it is a Real Madrid throw, which he takes quickly, the Welshman. Nodded crossfield by Rodriguez, and then a sweeping pass from right to left by Casemiro into the feet of Ferland Mendy, the Frenchman. Mendy reaches the corner of the area, slightly cumbersome. Hazard plays it square to Kroos. Lots of white shirts behind the ball for PSG. Real Madrid coming forward in search of a goal here. Hazard gets away momentarily from the sliding Pablo Sarabia, and then it's out of play for a Real Madrid throw, and here's Adrian Clark.
Yeah, well, they're doing what I suggested they should do, and that is be more assertive and gain territory and look to play in the PSG half. This is where they need to be at 2-0 down for sure. One tactical change, it seems like more of a 4-2-3-1 now for Real Madrid. James Rodriguez definitely playing in a more advanced position, closer to Karim Benzema. That's an attacking move, obviously, from Zinedine Zidane.
Because Rodriguez is not an orthodox central midfielder, but this is the way that Real Madrid are at the moment. Here's Di Maria darting forward down the left-hand side. He's got Varane to beat. Di Maria 25 yards from goal, but it's a poor pass behind Gueye and straight into the feet of Hazard. And there's certainly enough ability in this Real Madrid side to make a game of this in the second period. They haven't won back-to-back games in competitive football, at least since March.
Wow.
Real Madrid, they ended the season poorly, and
that's awful, isn't it?
2 wins, 2 draws in La Liga this season.
Yeah, no momentum at all for Real Madrid then. It's amazing, given the quality at their disposal. They're just struggling for an identity, aren't they, at the moment? What are they? They're a very good team, full of quality individuals, but they don't have a distinctive pattern of play, I'd suggest, under Zidane at the moment, and that's a slight concern.
And Zinedine Zidane, for all his brilliance and terrific record in the Champions League, is clearing up a mess left by 2 previous managers, Lopetegui and then Santi Solari. Here is Pablo Sarabia, once of Sevilla, in possession for PSG. Square ball neatly to Gueye, who whips it cross-field to the left on this lovely lush green surface. The ball just zips across the turf effortlessly, glides along the field of play like a skater on ice. Here is Gay on the halfway line again. Verratti pops it back to Marquinhos, who's dipped in between the central defenders. A 1-2 with Gay. Lofted cross-field by Marquinhos, headed downfield by Meunier, away by Eder Militao. PSG, though, first to the loose ball. Pablo Sarabia robbed the possession by Toni Kroos. 5 minutes played in the second half, and it's PSG 2, Real Madrid 0 on TalkSport.
Yes, the best we've seen of Toni Kroos, and he's having a decent game.
He's lost the ball here, though. Marquinhos into the area, won back by Furlong Mendy.
Yeah, almost.
That's the commentator.
That's the co-commentator's curse, isn't it? But look, Toni Kroos, we've barely seen him on the ball because PSG have had more of it. But defensively, he has done some good work tonight, Toni Kroos. He's working ever so hard. I don't see a problem with the attitude of the Real Madrid players.
No,
it's
You're
not.
right.
It's not a poor performance. It's not shambolic. It's just that they're up against a PSG outfit that are fairly inspired.
And PSG playing with a great authority, a sort of almost chest out, head up confidence. PSG carefully assembled over the summer, and this, of course, a team in some ways full of squad players. No Cavani, no Mbappe, no Neymar tonight, but the second string forward line, if you like, are doing a terrific job. 2-0 in front, and Real Madrid with work to do 5.5 minutes into the second period.
Yeah, and they will need to get a goal pretty soon, you'd imagine, just to make PSG feel nervous. At the moment, as you rightly point out, they're sort of chests out, they're feeling very happy with themselves. PSG, confidence is coursing through their veins.
Bale's got space to glide into down the right hand side, though, right of centre, skips back into a central position, left footed crossfield ball out to the near side, and Hazard. 2-0 down Real Madrid here. Hazard on the edge of the area, back to Kroos. Kroos onto his left foot, shoots, deflected away by Marquinhos, who had his arms behind his back just in case. And now PSG maybe can counter-attack the game, though slowed down by Verratti, who sets up Bernat, and Bernat, like an express train, his change of pace is extraordinary.
What we're seeing here, though, is a press from Real Madrid, definitely looking to win the ball higher up. Benzema goes in behind, now it's Hazard that goes in behind him, is James Rodriguez. Bale tucks in. That didn't happen in the first half. They allowed PSG to move the ball into their own half easily, and what happens? PSG now give the ball back to Real Madrid. It's a definite change in approach from Zidane, and it's absolutely the right call.
A more forthright approach as Kroos crosses the halfway line. Adrian Clark, the former Arsenal winger, is your summariser on TalkSport 2 tonight. We'll be live with Arsenal tomorrow in the Europa League away at Frankfurt on TalkSport 2. A 5:55 kickoff. And Arsenal back in action with us next Tuesday as well. Adrian will be at the Emirates for Arsenal against Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup. One of a number of commentaries over the next few days here on TalkSport 2. PSG 2-0 ahead if you've just joined us. Ball on the halfway line for Real Madrid, who, confusingly somewhat, are playing in dark blue. Doesn't help that PSG are playing in white. I do have to check myself every now and
then. It's amazing, yeah. What is it, branding? What's the reason?
I have no idea.
I suppose these clubs want to get their third kits or second kits out there for the punters to buy, but it's daft. If you're at home, play your home kit. I mean, it's madness.
As Gay gives it away, a very heavy touch for PSG, and Real Madrid have it back. Benzema twisting on the halfway line. He glides away from the challenge of Pablo Sarabia. Sets up Hazard, who will maraud forward. Infield in the end from Hazard in the blue boots. Onto James Rodriguez, much taller player. Lofted ball out to the right, and Carvajal with a good cross. Benzema nods it down, away from goal. Kimpembe with a poor header. Marquinhos steps in to knock it away high into the dark night Paris sky for PSG. And Kimpembe very sloppy there. Real Madrid could easily have been in with an opportunity.
Slow to respond, wasn't he, to the knockdown from Karim Benzema. He's on his heels. When you're inside your own 6-yard box, you can't afford to take any time at all. He needs to go and meet the ball there, Kimpembe. That might just give Real Madrid a bit more encouragement.
Here goes Hazard down the left-hand side. Meunier with a foot in, the tall Belgian fullback, and a throw to Real Madrid. 9 minutes into the second half, but Real Madrid have had almost all of the ball in this second period. 2-0 down on TalkSport 2. Carvajal deflected cross, which spins up off the boot of Bernat, drops on the roof of the net, and Real Madrid will win themselves a corner, their second corner of the game, on the far side of the field here at the Boulogne end, which is populated by those very vocal home supporters. Lots of blue and red behind the goal. Swung in the corner by James Rodriguez. Headed away this time by Marquinhos. Comes down to Kroos on the edge of the area. He misses his kick. Back to Mendy, who miscontrols. But then he manages to scoop the ball wide to the right desperately to Rodriguez again. Rodriguez, the Colombian, skipping in field. Out to the left-hand side. Real Madrid stretching the play to great effect. Still 2-0 down. Little ball by Benzema in the area. Back towards Hazard. It was poor. And Meunier able to win a throw in the right-back spot for PSG as Zidane emerges with his dark coat on, the shaven-headed Zidane from his technical area. Real Madrid really pinning PSG back here, and Di Maria is down for the home side.
Well, yeah, that's bad news, isn't it, for Thomas Tuchel. He will not want to lose Angel Di Maria, the hero of the hour. Just seeing a replay of the incident. He gets caught on the follow-through, doesn't he?
There's that ball from Mendy stretching.
Yeah, and he just catches him on the calf, potentially. My initial instinct is that he should be okay. It might sting. Might be a dead calf muscle for a few minutes or so, but fingers crossed he can continue, because Di Maria has been mesmeric this evening. But it's so much better from Real Madrid. That change in system, the change in attitude, pressing higher, has just got them 20-30 yards higher up the field. Because of that, we're seeing more of Hazard, we're seeing more of Benzema, we're seeing more of James Rodriguez. So it's going well the second half, but they're looking for that goal.
Former Arsenal winger Adrian Clark is alongside me, Joe Shannon, for your live commentary tonight from the Champions League on TalkSport 2. We brought you Barcelona away at Borussia Dortmund yesterday, 0-0. Barcelona lucky to leave with a point there, and Real Madrid, as things stand, will be very happy if they manage to scramble a point here in Paris tonight. Southwest of the city centre, the 16th arrondissement in this wonderful city with all of its riches. Carvajal back to the goalkeeper Courtois. Under pressure, Courtois hammers the ball, rifles it high. It's swinging out to the right hand side, nodded down by Bale, and Real Madrid have it midway inside their own half of the field. Everybody's finally sat down now. 11 minutes into the second half. There were still people.
It must have been good pies over
sitting
there.
Well, yes. Or
sure
even better.
Yeah, nice baguettes over there. No, it's a crackling atmosphere though. Even though there were a lot of empty seats at the start of the second half, noise levels absolutely incredible. Really driving on the home side. But Real Madrid are not out of this. They've got the game changers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Down there on the field to turn this around quickly.
Arguably more game changers than PSG, as that camera sweeps across the air again, suspended from the roof. And it's ribbed concrete. Here is Kroos, halfway line, tattoos down his arms, looks up, crossfield 20 yards or so out to the right. Bale shaped to cut in field, then goes wide to Carvajal. And Real Madrid having to be patient here as we tick towards the hour mark. 2-0 down, with a wall of PSG players all dressed in right in front of them. Long from Kroos down the middle, over the head of Benzema. Kimpembe lets it go through to the former Real Madrid goalkeeper Keylor Navas.
Yeah, you need to do much better than that. Okay, sometimes it's okay to go direct, but the quality of the ball into Karim Benzema has to be more accurate. That one straight over his head. He's better than that, Toni Kroos. You can just see it, look, 5-6 blue shirts all hunting in packs now. Didn't see any of that in that first period, and I think that was a mistake to allow PSG the early initiative.
They're pressing very high up the field, Real Madrid. The pace of the game has slowed a little. It's become more tactical, it's less free-flowing, certainly less end-to-end in the second half so far, but PSG still with the 2 goals to an advantage. Here's Verratti surging into opposition territory. Square ball to Gay, 35 yards and goal, just left of centre. Further wide is Bernat. First time cross, punched away by Courtois. Had to dive in front of Icardi there. Brave goalkeeping, he did very well. The former Chelsea man floated forward by Verratti. Out comes Courtois again. The ball is landed in his gloves.
What a cross. That is sensational, it really is, from Wan-Bernat, who's been excellent. He's had his hands full with Gareth Bale defensively, but on the ball he's been terrific.
Gay has won it back for PSG again, and Verratti's threaded it through into the area. Di Maria won a hat-trick. He's chipped it over the bar. Di Maria with his face on the turf, having fallen over Can't believe he hasn't secured his hat-trick. Can't believe he hasn't made it 3-0. He went for the dinked effort over the goalkeeper, and it was too high, and it was onto the roof of the net.
Don't get too cocky. That's what he does there, Angel Di Maria. It's a golden opportunity to score a famous hat-trick, and he goes for the clever finish, the really difficult degree of difficulty. It's one of those little dinks, scoopy efforts, and he gets it horribly wrong. It goes well over the crossbar. If he was as ruthless there as he had been earlier on, that's 3-0, it's game over.
An hour gone, PSG make the first change of the match. Icardi goes off, and would you believe it, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, once of Stoke City before he signed from PSG, swapping the bright lights of the Bet365 for the even brighter lights, you would argue, of Paris. And Choupo-Moting will come on, and I think it will probably be a straight swap here, Adrian Clark.
Yes, do you think he's pleased with that move?
I think he might be quite. He might be relatively happy.
I don't think he'll have too many regrets, will he, about swapping the 365 for this stadium.
For the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been in good form, obviously, in the absence of Cavani and Mbappe. He's played a lot in Ligue 1. He's scored goals this season. I was actually surprised he didn't start.
3 goals in 3. Here he is with a jet of blonde dyed in his hair. Onto Bernat, left-hand side, into Di Maria. Lovely turn in the area. Pulls it back. Oh, it's just wide from Pablo Sarabia. That would have been another sensational goal for PSG. Choupo-Moting involved. Glorious pirouette turn from Di Maria, and Pablo Sarabia inches wide.
That's a good save. Thibaut Courtois, point blank. It's brilliant again from Bernat and Angel Di Maria. It's the faintest of touches from the goalkeeper. Wonderful football all round.
Corner taken quickly. Verratti back to the edge of the area, in by Bernat, takes a deflection, steered away downfield by Casemiro for Real Madrid. The faintest of touches off the glove of Courtois. Verratti up to the corner of the area this time, lays it wide left to Di Maria again. He steers it in, cleared by Courtois at the near post, went down to push it away inside the 6-yard area, and Thibaut Courtois has kept Real Madrid in the game. It's TalkSport 2, PSG 2, Real Madrid 0. But with just over an hour gone, PSG could easily have the match wrapped up.
That's a good game, this is. PSG have been excellent. They've had chances to extend their lead, but you still feel Real Madrid are in it. Some of the football, just look at the replay of the chance Di Maria spurned. He goes for one of those scoopy finishes. It's overconfidence on his part there. Needs to go for a safer finish. That's a wasted opportunity. Wonder if that will come back to bite PSG. I hope not, because they do deserve the win based on what we've seen so far. Then after that, it was outstanding creativity. The turn from Di Maria, the square pass, just gorgeous. And Sarabia, who's been excellent tonight, almost got himself a goal. He didn't do anything wrong. He put the shot on target. It was a fabulous save.
Well, I'm sure, Adrian Clark, you remember that goal. I remember that goal that Di Maria scored when he was at Manchester United against Leicester City, and that was a glorious chip. It was a little different this, but you could see what it was in his mind anyway, and he's certainly the kind of technician where he can do it.
I'm probably being too harsh on him. You just think those chances don't come around too often. There might not be another. I'm perhaps a little bit more old-fashioned, and maybe it's because I didn't have that finish in my armoury like he does, but I just think just go right foot, put your laces through it, just curl it bottom corner, game over, good night. He's gone for the glory goal, the clever, the cute finish, and I just hope he doesn't regret it.
Thomas Tuchel is gesticulating thoughtfully to his players as they stream forward again, the team in white. Pablo Sarabia up towards Choupo-Moting, not a good ball, steered away by Dani Carvajal. Pablo Sarabia's got it back though, down the far side, the left, a good cross to the far post, well dealt with by Eder Militao, who flicks it clear. PSG first to the loose ball, as they have been so often throughout the match, and after a difficult opening to the second half, the home side are starting to dominate again now. 2-0 they lead, and you're listening to TalkSport 2. Di Maria cutting in field from the right. He looks really in the mood against his former club, Di Maria. He's been dispossessed though. Hazard gives it away for Real Madrid. Seen very little of Eden Hazard. One shot wide in the first half, but
doesn't look right, does he? Doesn't look match fit. He looks a little bit heavy, Eden Hazard. Certainly that sharpness, that zip that we saw when he was at his very best for Chelsea, just glided past players. not there tonight.
Played a lot of football in pre-season for Real Madrid, but yes, only fit enough to make his debut for the club at the weekend in the win over Levante. That was just half an hour or so off the bench, and PSG in control.
Well, this is a step up as well in quality, and you just feel that he's maybe not ready for a game of this speed, this quality. I don't know what's been up with him physically, Eden Hazard, but he's not the same specimen he was at Stamford Bridge right now. It will come, I'm sure it will, but way below par. I think the reason that Icardi came off so early on the hour was purely a match fitness issue as well.
Because he was excellent.
He was good. Yeah, his link play was decent, and he just didn't get that easiest chance that he probably needed to boost his confidence. I just felt that he ran out of gas a touch.
Ball floated forward by Varane, headed down by Bale, but he can't find Benzema. Good interception by Kimpembe to reach it first. Kimpembe, who was embroiled in that controversy when Manchester United won through at the Parc des Princes last season in the Champions League in the round of 16. 2-0 PSG lead here as we approach the midway points of the second half. You're listening to PSG against Real Madrid in the Champions League live on TalkSport 2 with Arnold Clark. Expect the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Zinedine Zidane has done it all in football. What does he do here, former Arsenal winger Adrian Clark?
Well, I think that the time has come maybe for fresh legs. I think Eden Hazard could probably make way. He doesn't look ready to impact this game. I'll break off.
Here come PSG, 6 against 4, darting forward. Meunier on the right, in towards Di Maria. They didn't make the most of that counter-attack. Meunier looked a little hesitant going forward, and now Hazard is darting down the left-hand side for Real Madrid. His shirt hanging untucked. Benzema to the left, to the right is James Rodriguez. Back out wide to Hazard in the area now. Will he cut onto his right foot? Left foot, twists, turns and loses the ball. Gay whips it off his toes, and more good work from the former Everton man.
Yeah, look, I'm a huge Eden Hazard fan, but he's not with it tonight. And I think with the quality on the bench, you've got Vinicius Junior, you've got Lucas Vazquez, potential players that can come on in wide areas. Luka Jovic might be worth a go in place of Karim Benzema as well, just to pep up the strike force. They've not been awful tonight, Real Madrid, but they are second best to PSG, and I just feel that at this stage in proceedings a change might just lift the whole side.
Marquinhos has hurt himself here. Marquinhos has delivered a vintage performance tonight for PSG.
Yeah.
But he's down at the moment receiving some treatment, and a little concern here for one or two in the PSG crowd. But I mean, this would be a statement win if they've still got 23 minutes plus stoppage time to hang on, so nothing done yet as Marquinhos takes a swig of water, continuing to receive treatment. But it would really be an early season indicator of their potential, albeit we have seen it before in the group stages.
Exactly. I wouldn't read too much into it. As impressive as they've been, until they start producing these performances in March and April at the business end of this competition, we have to have our reservations about PSG. But look, tonight they have been almost untouchable. It's been outstanding in terms of the attitude, their quality on the ball, the way they've hunted impacts to win it back. I don't think Thomas Tuchel will be able to really fault any of his players tonight. It's one of those displays to this point that I find very hard to criticise.
Home fans have been bouncing up and down in the stands. I think Marquinhos is going to have to go off here. Certainly PSG temporarily down to 10 men. It looks like they've readied Ander Herrera, who is a ready-made replacement, the former Manchester United player, to come onto the field. 2-0 to PSG, live on TalkSport 2. We're with Arsenal tomorrow in the Europa League against Eintracht Frankfurt. On Saturday, game day returns to the network. 3 back-to-back Premier League commentaries you won't hear anywhere else. Our offering on TalkSport 2 sees Everton play Sheffield United. Live and exclusive to national radio. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. So Herrera ready to come on for PSG, and I think Luka Jovic, the Serbian, will take to the field shortly for Real Madrid. And with 21 minutes to go, Zinedine Zidane is starting to show his hand here. 2 changes, I think, for Real Madrid possibly on the way. The first of them sees Eden Hazard go off, so Hazard off, and Lucas Vazquez onto the field for Real Madrid.
Right on cue.
You were right. That's what you're here for.
Well, it had to be done.
And James Rodriguez also replaced, and Luka Jovic on, so that's another attacking change for Real Madrid. And PSG, confirmation of their second substitution, and Herrera onto the field. His third appearance since joining on a free transfer from Manchester United. And Marquinhos, who hurt himself, not gravely, but enough to force him off a few moments ago.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Herrera on.
Yeah, it was a shame for Marquinhos because he'd put in a really smooth display. I'm a fan of Ander Herrera though. I thought he was a bit of an unsung player for Manchester United. They always seemed to be harder to play against when he was in the starting 11. He's obviously a very busy player, but he's one with ability and quality too. It's a good move for him.
20 minutes to go. Real Madrid trail 2-0 on TalkSport 2. On TalkSport, Manchester City lead at Shakhtar Donetsk by 2-0. Cruising. Here goes Bernat with the yellow boots down the left for PSG. Elbows jutting out as he surges into the area. He can try and put it back. A long leg from Dani Carvajal, stretching to clear, and it's out of play, much to the derision of the fullback. There for a corner to PSG.
He's been the best fullback on the pitch, hasn't he, Juan Bernat? He's so quick, very direct, and the quality that he's delivered into the box from wide areas has been top draw, really. Excellent display from him.
By the way, I think that should have been a goal kick off Carvajal. It came off the heels of, well, the shins rather, of Juan Bernat. Di Maria with the corner, left-footed out, swinging high into the penalty area. Flicked away this time by a combination of Casemiro and Varane for Real Madrid. It's back on the near side, the right for PSG, with Idrissa Gueye searching the third goal that would surely make the game safe. This first Champions League match in Group A for both sides. Galatasaray and Club Brugge, the other teams in the group. So you'd have to say, whatever happens in the matches between these two, PSG and Real Madrid very likely to reach the knockout stages once more.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds are right now, but even if Real Madrid lost this 6-0, they'd still be favourites, wouldn't they, to progress to the next phase. It seems a two-horse race.
Di Maria down the left, up towards Choupo-Moting, whose movement isn't quite right. Kroos dispossessed by Herrera. Foul, though, says Anthony Taylor.
But if you're looking ahead to the bigger picture and topping the group and finishing as one of the seeds, PSG, if it stays as it is, have put themselves in a great position. It means Real Madrid have to beat them, and beat them very well, at the Bernabeu later on in the group stage. So that's, of course, unless PSG slip up along the way. But Galatasaray and Bruges, you're not expecting that, are you?
Still 2-0 to PSG, 18 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Lots of noise at this bowl-shaped arena. Lots of flags, blue and red, being waved away to the left-hand side by the hardcore fans, if you like, at PSG, all on their feet in the two-tiered stand behind the goal. Away from the end, though, towards which PSG are attacking. They're attacking the opposite end, the team in white. Here is Choupo-Moting, a tall figure with yellow boots, slender, away to the far side, the left. Would want to meet into play again. Verratti, Di Maria, and Idrissa Gueye, who looks increasingly an important part of this PSG side. Little touch by Herrera, away from two. Lovely ball threaded down the left for Choupo-Moting. Oh, the cross is dreadful. Miles overhit and out of play for a Real Madrid throw.
Yeah, it was more Championship than Champions League, wasn't it, from Choupo-Moting? It was a poor delivery, lovely turn and defence-splitting pass from Ander Herrera, and then with no pressure, Choupo-Moting just blazed it past everybody. The tactical change is interesting because Choupo-Moting didn't come on directly for Icardi. He's almost as if he's playing on that left wing, and Angel Di Maria is playing as a false nine in central areas, basically given licence to go anywhere, which is unusual.
Casemiro got a foot in on Verratti for just a moment, midway inside the PSG half, but the home side quick to retrieve possession. Lovely ball by Verratti, which glided onto the left boot of Pablo Sarabia, who threads it through the middle towards Di Maria. Overhit, Courtois spreads himself and claims easily.
Yeah, another good claim from Courtois. He's been busy, hasn't he, this evening? Much busier than he usually is in La Liga. And yeah, Di Maria is playing as a striker. I guess with his speed, he's going to adopt that Jamie Vardy type role, isn't he? Where he's just looking to run off the shoulder of Varane or Eder Militao. It's been excellent. Thomas Tuchel, I think, will come away from this game, no matter what happens, unless of course they blow it towards the end. I think he'll come away from this with his stock even higher, because he's won that duel, hasn't he, against Zinedine Zidane. Whatever PSG have done, they've tried to react, Real Madrid, but failed to make headway.
Real Madrid are very ponderous with 15 minutes to go. 2-0 they trail in Paris, do Real Madrid. The next meeting between these two sides won't be till towards the end of November. There was a pass a few moments ago, Varane towards Luka Jovic. His control, he didn't even move towards it. And then Idrissa Gueye just snapped in front of him to whip it away from him, and Varane was so frustrated. Real Madrid behind. No Sergio Ramos, no Modric tonight, but no Mbappe, Cavani or Neymar for PSG, who've been excellent live on TalkSport 2. Here is Eder Militao, 15 yards from the halfway line. Mendy then sprints in field, finds Casemiro in the centre circle. Good ball out to the right. Dani Carvajal with the beard, tries a cross, deflected away by Bernat, spoons up into the air. Lucas Vazquez into Benzema. Benzema right hand edge of the area, footed by Bernat again. Low ball driven in by Dani Carvajal. It came off Jovic. Benzema through the legs of the goalkeeper and in. The assistant has his flag up on the far side all of a sudden, but it looked to me that Benzema was offside. Certainly Lucas Vazquez was in an offside position, but he made no attempt to go for the ball, and I'm sure this goal is going to be looked at again, because Benzema was clearly onside and he thinks he's made it 2-1.
Well, he was onside. It was Vazquez coming back from an offside position. Did he interfere with play? Karim Benzema is protesting. He's saying, I wasn't. I was onside, and I make him right looking at the replay there. It's been given. Offside.
Well,
they've deemed Vazquez to be interfering.
The ball went through the legs of Lucas Vazquez.
Well, in that sense, I guess that it's a fair decision. It wasn't the most convincing piece of goalkeeping from Keylor Navas. It went through him, the shot. It wasn't what I'd call an unsavable shot. It kind of went through the legs of Navas. That, by the way, was the first shot on target. But they've had 2 shots on target tonight, Real Madrid, and they've both been disallowed.
Both
Bale and
ruled out.
Benzema. I've looked at the stats. 7 shots for PSG, 4 on target. Real Madrid 7 shots, none on target.
Both ruled out, and I think rightly so.
Yep.
Still 2-0 to PSG on TalkSport 2. Former Arsenal winger Adrian Clark is our summariser. Good noise from the home supporters. Still the game not quite over yet, as Keylor Navas angles the ball out wide unconvincingly towards Thiago Silva, who wins a throw. Navas was just in kind of harmonious conversation with Benzema there, the 2 former teammates. Navas, who only recently moved to PSG, there was a swap deal with him and Alphonse Areola, who's happy to sit on the bench at Real Madrid on loan for the season and
he needed to play, didn't he, Keylor Navas? He'd been on the bench long enough. I think there comes a point in every goalkeeper's career and you either have to make that decision: am I happy to be a journeyman sub-keeper, pick up the money but never play, or do I want to go and achieve something by getting out there on the pitch? And it's a pretty good move to come to PSG.
It certainly is. Benzema 25 yards from goal, trying to wriggle away from one challenge, can't do so. PSG have the ball back. Herrera to Verratti, who stumbled, gave it away. Jovic for Real Madrid, back to Kroos, congested in the middle of the PSG half, but they work it wide, Real Madrid. Vazquez with the cross, Benzema heads it down and inches wide, right across the face of goal from Karim Benzema, who has his head in his hands. He should have scored, but it's gone wide.
Much better from Real Madrid, and that chance has come about because they've got 2 strikers on the pitch, Jovic and Benzema, occupying both central defenders. What happened there was that the right-sided centre-half's Thiago Silva gets drawn to Jovic, leaves Benzema, who's peeled off behind him, and the header isn't bad. He's backpedaling, it's a difficult one to execute, and it's only half a foot away from nestling into the bottom corner. Is it too late for Real Madrid? They're certainly giving it a go here.
They have made their final substitution. Gareth Bale, who had a wonder goal disallowed for handball in the first half, has gone off. Here come PSG. Di Maria into the area, overhit again, this time towards Ander Herrera, and it's straight through to Courtois. So Bale off for Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane, the Frenchman who was born in Marseille, PSG's great rivals Marseille. Zidane with his dark coat on watches from the near side, pointing the way forward, and Vinicius Junior has come on, the Brazilian, for Real Madrid. What a tackle by Idrissa Gueye on Benzema, and they've broken the lines here, PSG. 4 in white coming forward again. Di Maria out to the right, just behind Pablo Sarabia, and Kroos was able to recover and get back behind the ball.
It's been so good tonight, Idrissa Gueye. He has taken to the Champions League so quickly. Not intimidated, not worried about the big reputations. He's done what he did in the Premier League, and that's win the ball back with great frequency, and he's looked after it ever so well as well. I'll tell you who has done well since coming on also, and that's Herrera.
10 minutes to go, 2-0 PSG. Pablo Sarabia into the area. Is he away from the defender? No. Good play by Eder Militao, who was then tripped by the Spaniard. Free kick to Real Madrid. You're listening to Talk Sport 2, and time rapidly running out.
Yeah, into the last 10 minutes now, and you feel like things are getting a little bit desperate from Real Madrid. On Ander Herrera, he's playing really high as an advanced sort of free number 8 midfielder. What he's doing is sitting on Toni Kroos and saying, right, you're not going to play it through Toni Kroos, I'm going to snap away and win the ball back in good areas, and he's done it a few times.
The ball is on the edge of the PSG penalty area. Lucas Vazquez tries to thread it through towards Vinicius Junior, but Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting is back behind the ball, his big frame in front of the 2 Real Madrid players, and then a late challenge by Vinicius Junior out in the left back position. That's got the PSG fans on their feet. Anthony Taylor's going to race across and try and defuse this, but Di Maria's not happy with the challenge from Vinicius Junior, and this is threatening to boil over potentially here. Di Maria is having to be held back, he's screaming at Vinicius Junior, and what's Anthony Taylor going to do here?
Well, the yellow card is out. I don't think it's worthy of a red, but Angel Di Maria has seen the red mist here. He's absolutely lost it.
And the referee, the Premier League referee Anthony Taylor, is holding up his yellow card, and he's going to book Vinicius Junior here. The first contribution of the substitute, the yellow card for Di Maria as well.
Yeah, 1 for the foul, 1 for the reaction. Simple as that. Get Vinicius Junior not messing around there, was he? Bit of frustration potentially in that challenge on Di Maria. Thankfully he's alright. He's been in the wars, hasn't he? He's been kicked all over the park at times this evening, the Argentine, but he's also been brilliant. 2 excellent goals, very different. It looks like they're going to spur PSG onto a great win.
You are listening to PSG 2, Real Madrid 0 in the Champions League, live on Talk Sport with Arnold Clark. Expect the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. PSG have the ball with 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go, in controlled possession, and they have been really good on the ball, PSG. Rarely giving it away. Gueye knocks it forward into the feet of Herrera now, threads it down the right towards Meunier, foot in from Mendy, and a throw to PSG, left with the edge of the 18-yard line.
It's fascinating to see Idrissa Gueye in a better team. You know, I don't mean that with too much disrespect to Everton, because Everton are a good team, but he's shown things tonight, Idrissa Gueye, that I don't think I saw in him at Goodison Park. His composure on the ball, his decision making, just first class. He looks, well, he fits in perfectly to one of the favourites for the Champions League, which can't say a lot about a lot of Everton players, I'd imagine.
Free kick here to PSG. Pablo Sarabia was tripped. He was instrumental for Sevilla last season. They had a good season, Sevilla, last year, and he was always destined for a move away. The fleet-footed Spaniard, 27 years of age, actually a former Real Madrid youth player, Pablo Sarabia.
Well, he's powerful, he's well built, and he's a strong runner. You can see that he's not afraid to take players on. He's done ever so well, I think, in Cavani's absence, in Mbappe's absence, Neymar too, of course. But they haven't missed them. And it goes to show they have got some depth here. Thomas Tuchel has got options in forward areas. You do wonder the first choice defenders weren't available, would the same quality backup be there? But let's not put them on too much of a downer.
Di Maria, good ball to Choupo-Moting, who fires over from the edge of the D. Lightning quick again, PSG in search of a third goal with 6 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. Di Maria, lovely weight of pass. Choupo-Moting took it down and hammered it just a couple of yards over the bar.
Fabulous effort, wasn't it? Reminds you a little bit of Lukaku when he played on the right side for Everton at times. What he's doing, he's playing on the left side of the PSG attack and using his physicality to drive inside. And he's had some good moments in the second half. He's only been on the pitch 25 minutes, Choupo-Moting, but he's looked good, very confident.
Adrian Clark has summarised it tonight on TalkSport 2 from our Arsenal winger. A lot to talk about. I wonder whether something we can discuss at the end of the game perhaps. PSG look more of a team unit in some ways with this kind of second string. Without the three stars, if you like, this is as good a team performance as they've probably produced.
I think that's been the issue with PSG. They've been a team of individuals, superstars. Have they ever had a team as such? Well, what we're seeing tonight in their absence is a collective, and that collective have been mightily impressive. Everybody has put in a shift, haven't they? This has been high-level industry as well as class from PSG. But I tell you what, even though Angel Di Maria scored the two sensational goals, I think man of the match is Idrissa Gueye. Everything he's done has been better than tidy. I think he's been the outstanding midfield player on the field.
The game is slightly petering out at the moment. Little happening on the field. 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time. 2-0 PSG. And here's Herrera from 25 yards onto Pablo Sarabia. He was tripped by Mendy, who slid in initially, and then Sarabia went down under the challenge. Anthony Taylor just says, get up, get on with it. And Real Madrid can counter-attack, and slowly Sarabia staggering to his feet, but Real Madrid have got it at the other end, the far side, with Lucas Vazquez. He crosses in right-footed, cushion header away by Kimpembe, intelligent to the feet of Verratti. Gueye will pop it back to Thiago Silva, and in close quarters they manage to win a free kick. Verratti goes down. Manchester City, by the way, 3-0 up on Shakhtar Donetsk. Gabriel Jesus with the third goal in Ukraine. That one live on TalkSport, but here on TalkSport 2, PSG edging ever closer to an important and what would be a famous victory as well over Real Madrid in the group stages here.
Any time you beat a club of Real Madrid's stature is worth celebrating. This is a performance that will have drawn a lot of admirers around Europe. I think Tuchel's stock will have risen on the back of it, and yeah, I can find nothing really to criticise about this display from the French champions. Terrific from start to finish. Real Madrid have not been poor, their attitude's been okay, been beaten by a better team.
And Pablo Sarabia is going to have to come off here, I think, for PSG. He's signalling that he needs to come off. Abdou Diallo, who is a central defender, is being readied, so that might mean a change of shape in the last few minutes here for PSG. Still 2-0 in front, 2.5 to go in normal time and stoppage time as well. Thiago Silva has it midway inside his own half, and he steers it back to the blue-clad goalkeeper Keylor Navas. PSG have been imperious with the ball and pretty good without it too. Choupo-Moting has tracked back into his own half. Verratti skips away from Varane. He was fouled by the Frenchman Varane, and a free kick to PSG, who are seeing out this game with no hassle really at all.
No dramas. I wonder when the last time Real Madrid had a Champions League match where they had 0 shots on target. It's harsh because they've had 2 goals disallowed, rightly as it turns out, but the stats will tell you, unless something happens in the last couple of minutes, that Real Madrid had no shots on target in this match. That can't happen too often.
Well, here goes Pablo Sarabia. There are some supporters behind the goal with their shirts off, the PSG fans in the upper tier. They're all on their feet, massed, thousands of them. And the red and blue banners and flags have been waved all match as Pablo Sarabia goes off, and maybe with the intent of securing a clean sheet. A defender who played a lot in the Bundesliga, Abdou Diallo, comes onto the field with just over a minute of normal time left. 2-0 PSG.
Yeah, they're loving it, aren't they, the PSG fans? It's been A little bit like Norwich against Manchester City. It's one of those nights you've just got to enjoy it. Enjoy what your team has produced, and they're certainly doing that, especially away to our left.
Choupo-Moting, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Back it goes to Meunier, on to Choupo-Moting again. Deep inside the Real Madrid half. Meunier continued his run. Very little space with PSG to work with here, but they've managed to keep the ball, at least momentarily. Herrera tackled by Kroos, and Real Madrid win possession back. Foul on Lucas Vazquez, free kick.
Yeah, you've got to remember, in Ligue 1, it's all a little bit of a procession, isn't it? There's not too much on the games. I don't think they get too excited, the supporters. They're expected to beat everybody. They can't celebrate goals with the further enthusiasm that they can on nights like this. This is what they live for, the PSG supporters, and probably the players as well to some degree. Certainly feel like they've been incredibly switched on tonight.
Poor ball for once this time for PSG by Kimpembe, but Meunier in to intercept as Real Madrid failed to take advantage. 3 minutes of stoppage time, and Meunier is darting through the middle. He's got support to the left-hand side. Here's one Bernat, back to Thomas Meunier! Stunning! Absolutely stunning from PSG! 3-0 they lead Real Madrid. What a wonderful team goal!
They are toying with Real Madrid. It is quite sensational football. What a counter-attack this is. 3-0 PSG, and it does not flatter them. This was wonderful link-up play. Beautiful 1-2. Meunier gives and goes. Di Maria spins, pirouettes, plays him in, and then the 1-2 between Meunier and Bernat. He's just taking the mickey, really.
They're playing like Galacticos. What a goal. Real Madrid made to look like schoolboys at the back. Bernat's so unselfish.
Bernat has been sensational, and he's not even the man of the match. We're seeing pictures of Mbappe and Neymar loving it, and rightly so. This is champagne football.
That's as good a performance as you're likely to see first game of the Champions League group stages.
Yep, definitely. It's best I've seen PSG play
since for
as long as I can remember. Yes,
many years.
They've had good performances there. I remember they beat Barcelona heavily here, didn't convert it.
Man United away last season.
Yeah, no, they've had good performances, but against Real Madrid, they've been so superior. And yeah, it's hard. It's impossible not to admire what they've produced.
3-0 PSG. 1 minute to go. Of the 3 added. Now the home fans all around are on their feet, waving their scarves above their heads. Fouled by Bernat on Dani Carvajal, rampaging down the right. Carvajal not happy. Had the look of a disappointed schoolboy there, like he'd just been. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was very sad face, wasn't it, from Carvajal? Maybe it's not just the tackle that made the corners of his mouth turn downwards, but Bernat is full of an apology. He did dive in. That was quite an aggressive tackle, a bit dangerous really. Do you know why he did that? He did that because he's excited, Bernat. He's overexcited about what has been probably one of the best nights of his career.
People talk about Jordi Alba. Juan Bernat, he plays in a very similar style, more pace than Jordi Alba.
Yeah, he's a top drawer, that's for sure.
Free kick Real Madrid. This will just about be the last bit of the action. Kroos steers it back to the area. Lucas Vazquez shoots low, and it goes wide. It's a goal kick for PSG, and time is just about up here on TalkSport 2, and the atmosphere is only getting better. The crowd are only getting louder, and Anthony Taylor blows the full-time whistle. And what a performance from PSG. A statement of intent from Thomas Tuchel's side. They've played like Galacticos against the team that are often called Galacticos. Real Madrid convincingly beaten tonight. PSG, without their main three, well, the second string have certainly proven themselves to be more than good enough tonight. 2 for Di Maria against his former side, both in the first half, and then Meunier crowning the match with a stunning goal on the counter-attack. in second half stoppage time. 2 goals disallowed for Real Madrid. Bale in the first half, Benzema in the second. They didn't play badly, but PSG on the night were just much too good. And in the Champions League on TalkSport 2, it finishes Paris Saint-Germain 3, Real Madrid 0.
Well, PSG have put a marker down. Joe Shannon and Adrian Clark were the commentators for the night's Champions League match between PSG and Real Madrid. Next up for PSG, away to Galatasaray. Next game for Real Madrid, at home to Bruges. And Manchester City, comfortable winners against Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine this evening. Mahrez, Gundogan, Jesus. Manchester City 3-0 winners, didn't concede. Next up for City, home to the Croatian club Dinamo Zagreb.